What's going on there, YouTube? And welcome back to another comic book video. Alright guys, so it's time for us to basically jump back into our Ultimate Marvel reading order. Now, real quick side note guys, I have one question for you guys real quick. Before we dive into today's video, I have one question. What is your guys' favorite football team? Because my team is the New York Giants. And as I'm recording right now, we have just lost another football game. We just lost to the Eagles. After being up 19-3, we lost 25-22. I am so hurt right now. Like, oh man, it hurts me so much to watch my team have a second year of just sucking. But my question, guys, though, what is your guys' favorite football team if you have one? If you don't, I understand. If you do, please let me know in the comments below. Now, guys, today we are going to jump into Ultimate X-Men Volume 4. Now, if you are new to my channel, guys, we are covering the Ultimate Marvel reading order. And thing is, though, guys, we have so far covered Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimates, Ultimate Elektra and Daredevil, and I'm forgetting something else. But we have basically covered a lot of different things. Oh, also Ultimate Fantastic Four. That's right. Now, guys, today we are covering Volume 4 of Ultimate X-Men. Now, real quick side note, Ultimate X-Men Volume 4, guys, is kind of weird. And the reason why I say that is because it does three things. The first thing it does, it basically introduced new characters into the Ultimate Universe. Now, also, it gives us new concepts in the Ultimate Universe of things we see in the main Marvel timeline. For example, guys, we are going to see the Phoenix in this volume. But also, guys, this is a prelude to Ultimate War. Now, guys, real quick side note, again, Ultimate War was Ultimate Marvel's first crossover. Like, after Marvel sat down and basically gave us like 2 ongoing series and also gave us a ton of different miniseries, they said, you know what? The Ultimate Universe is somewhat established now. It is somewhat established. It's time for that universe to have some kind of crossover. And that's where Ultimate War came in. Now, we'll cover Ultimate War in our next video. But for this video, we are covering Volume 4 Ultimate X-Men. Now, guys, I like what Mark Millar did in Volume 5, or sorry, Volume 4. Because, guys, we pick up with Ultimate X-Men number 21. Now, guys, it has been a long time since we've seen someone join the X-Men. The last time we saw somebody join the X-Men was Iceman after the X-Men have been formed by Charles Xavier. And guys, that all took place back in Volume 1 of Ultimate X-Men. And so what Mark Millar does in issue number 21, he says, hey, here is someone joining the X-Men team, Kitty Pryde. Guys, we are getting our first introduction of Kitty Pryde in the Ultimate Universe. Now, it's kind of cool because the way Mark Millar does it is kind of like her basically back in the main Marvel timeline. You know, she wakes up one day and she realized that she has powers, that she can phase through different things left and right. And the thing is, though, she can't control it. And so, like, when she gets home, she fades through the floor into the apartment underneath her. She fades out into the street, and she basically almost get hit by cars. But again, she fades through all these different cars. And so it's Mark Millar saying, listen, Kitty Pryde is acting just like she was when she first introduced in the main Marvel timeline. She has no clue how her powers work at all. And so it's kind of cool right there. Now, after you see a few pages of her kind of facing through different things, she does finally go back home, and her mom emails Charles Xavier saying, listen, I have a young girl who is basically a mutant. She is phasing through objects left and right. and she needs help to control her powers. And so you have Charles Xavier send over Jean Grey to bring Kitty Pryde and her mother to the Xavier school so they can sit down and talk about her possibly joining the X-Men. Now, once she gets there, though, you do have, Jean Grey walk Kitty Pryde around the school to show her different things that go on at the Xavier school, and also say, hey, listen, these guys you see in your school right now, they are going to be your classmates. And so, she walks around saying that's Cyclops and Storm. They just got back from a mission in California, and that's cool and all. She walks in, there goes Colossus and Wolverine. They just left the danger room. Ignore Wolverine because right now he has a ton of different bullet holes in him right now, but he's okay. He has a healing factor. Oh, and that guy right there, that's Beast. Right now, he hates the whole world because he just broke up with Storm. And so it's kind of cool to see Jean Grey kind of show Kitty Pryde around the X school. Kind of like, listen, these are your classmates. These are the things that you're going to do here at the Xavier school. Now, guys, right now, Iceman is not part of the X-Men anymore because after the X-Men fought against Charles Xavier's son back in Volume 4, Iceman got put in a coma. And so right now, his parents does not want Iceman to go back to that school at all. And so Iceman is no longer an X-Men for right now. Now, after, Jean Grey shows Kitty Pryde around the school, we do jump over to Charles Xavier and Kitty Pryde's mother talking to one another. Now, Kitty Pryde's mom, she says, listen, I don't mind my daughter joining your school. I don't mind her being here, learning how to control her powers. But I do not want my daughter in an X-Men outfit going on different missions with you guys at all. Do you understand, Charles Xavier? My daughter is supposed to stay here at this school just to learn how to control her powers. I do not want to turn my TV on one day to see my daughter fighting against some bad mutants at all. Now, you do have Charles say, I understand, you know what? She'll be here just for that, and that's it. She will not be an official X-Men. Now, to wrap up Ultimate X-Men number 21, as Kitty Pryde and her mom are about to leave, Jean Grey, she collapsed on the ground. She collapsed, and she starts seeing the Phoenix in her head, and she's just screaming in pain. And you have her say, the visions are back. Charles Xavier, the visions are back. And that is Mark Millar just starting up Volume 4 of Ultimate X-Men. Now, guys, when it comes to Ultimate X-Men number 22, with this book right here, guys, we don't pick up where Ultimate X-Men number 21 left off at. Instead, we pick up with the Brotherhood of Mutants. Matter of fact, we pick up with Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, because right now, guys, these two people right here, they are leading the Brotherhood of Mutants, because right now they believe their father Magneto is dead. Now, guys, remember, Magneto is not dead. To the world, Magneto died by the hands of Charles Xavier. But in reality, though, Magneto is still alive. He's just being a normal person because Charles Xavier basically wiped his mind out completely, saying, you're not Magneto, you're a guy named Eric, and you're a teacher, and that's it. Now, one more thing though, guys, we come to find out you do have a few members not liking the way Quicksilver is running the Brotherhood of Mutants. And what I mean is that even though you have Quicksilver leading the group around the world, making small threats like blowing up military bases bombs, not killing people, just blowing up their missiles and other devices, making small threats, you have a few members saying Quicksilver is running this group to the ground. Yes, he is making threats out there to the world saying, hey, listen, the Brotherhood of Mutants is still a very powerful threat. we still believe that mutants should be ruling over the human race. We still believe that. But the thing is, though, you have a few members saying what Quicksilver is doing, he's saying he wants to do what is right by his dad, by basically saying, hey, listen, we as the mutant race want to rule over human race, but he's not making big threats, he's making small threats. He's just blowing up their missiles and that's it. When Magneto was in charge, man, he killed people. He didn't care who you were. He would walk in there and just wipe you out completely. He'll say, hey guys, here's some bombs, go blow up some military bases, and I don't care how many folks die, just go out there and kill people. And so you have the Brotherhood of Mutants kind of like, yeah, dude, Quicksilver is not being his dad, Quicksilver is being a teddy bear. Because all he's doing is just blowing up missiles. He's not killing people. He's not making an official statement. All he's doing is just making small threats here and there. And that's really it. Now, guys, we do jump over to the Xavier School. And thing is though, guys, we pick up with Charles Xavier and Jean Grey. Now, guys, real quick side note. It has been 4 months after the ending of Ultimate X-Men number 21. And the thing is though, you have Charles tell Jean Grey, listen right now. You're okay. We were able to block out those visions of the Phoenix. You should have no more visions of the Phoenix at all. Matter of fact, you should be back to your usual self now. Nothing else should be wrong. For the past 4 weeks, you and I have been working together to make sure that nothing else happens to you. Now, we do jump over to Wolverine and Cyclops because right now, guys, they are planning a mission to the Savage Land. Now, we'll find out what their mission is down the road in this video, but you have Wolverine and Cyclops right now just going over their game plan for this mission. Now, you do have Kitty Pryde kind of walk in and ask Scott Summers, can she join them? And you have Scott say, no. Your mom told the professor that you're not allowed to go on any kind of mission at all. You're here at this school just to be a student, and that's it. To learn how to control your powers and still get some kind of an American education, and that's it. You are not allowed to be on the X-Men team right now. So please stop asking. Now, you do have Wolverine tell Cyclops, you know what? Let us break the rules. Let's go ahead and take her with us because, hey man, this could be a good experience for her. Now, you do have Scott Summers and Logan start to argue with one another. And the thing is though, as they're arguing, you do have Logan bring up the fact that he banged Jean Grey before Cyclops did. And so with that happening right there, you do have Cyclops and you do have Cyclops and Logan start to fight one another. Now, this fight, it does go on for a few pages. They do go back and forth, but it does get to a point where Wolverine says, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and kill you. He pops his claws out and he starts to go attack Cyclops. But luckily for Cyclops, Charles Xavier walks in the room, shuts down Wolverine, and says, no, you two go your separate ways. We are not having this at all. We are not having this. Go your separate ways. Now, real quick, right before this book closes, you do have Kitty Pryde say, Professor, Jean Grey is not doing good right now. She's having another, big moment. She's freaking out again right now. She's having some kind of fit. She is freaking out once again, and she's having visions of the Phoenix. Now, guys, when it comes to Ultimate X-Men number 23, with this book right here, guys, this is the book where basically Mark Miller says, okay, from this point right here, this is the official prelude to Ultimate War. From this point right here and up, this is the official prelude to Ultimate War from this point right here. Now, guys, we pick up with Beast. Now, real quick side note, guys, back in Volume 1, after Xavier made the X-Men team, Storm and Beast, they became a couple. And thing is though, guys, they did date throughout Volume 1, Volume 2, and partially through Volume 3. The thing is though, when Storm and Beast broke up, Beast always stayed in his room. He never left his room at all. And the reason why is because Beast joined an online chat room. And the thing is though, Beast met a young girl in this chat room named Naomi. Now, you do have this young girl tell Beast that she is some big time French supermodel. The problem is though, she is a mutant and she's afraid to go public with her powers because it could possibly ruin her career. Now, guys, we come to find out Beast is not talking to some girl named Naomi at all. Instead, Beast is talking to the Blob. And the thing is, Blob is catfishing Beast. And so you have Beast telling Blob every single detail about the X-Men. Every single detail. And this right here, guys, is going to bite the X-Men in the butt down the road because he is telling every single secret about the X-Men to Blob. And Blob is still part of the Brotherhood of Mutants. Now, we do jump over to Bobby Drake. Now, guys, real quick side note again, back in like Volume 3, when the X-Men fought against Charles Xavier's son back in Volume 3, Bobby Drake got injured. He was badly injured. He was put in a coma. But at this point right here, it has been like a month and a half. And so he is officially healed up right now. Now, the thing is though, Bobby Drake's parents, they are suing Charles Xavier for like $50 million. $50 million. And the thing is though, you have this guy named Senator Turk helping Bobby Drake's parents pay for all the medical bills for Bobby Drake. And so you have Mr. Turk here telling I cannot talk right now. Sorry guys. You have Senator Turk tell Bobby Drake's parents, listen, you guys need to sue Charles Xavier. It's his fault. Your son got injured, got in a coma. You guys need to sue him, not just for some low amount, for a very, very high amount. Sue him for $50 million. That is what you're gonna do. Now, we do jump over to Wolverine and Cyclops. And the thing is though, right now, they're on a mission to the Savage Land. Now, while they fly there, you do have Cyclops talk to Jean Grey with their minds. You know, you have Jean Grey kind of like, listen, I'm better now. I'm in a better situation and everything. You know, after, the Phoenix thing, I'm better now. You can stop worrying about me and just worry about your mission, Scott. Like, right now, you're with Logan. And I do not trust Logan at all. And so I need you to be on your A game. So stop worrying about me and my Phoenix problems and focus on Logan, possibly not kind of backstab you to get back to me and everything. Now, guys, this is kind of Mark Miller putting the whole Phoenix thing on the back burner for right now. Like, he's putting the Phoenix thing on the back burner and saying, listen, the Phoenix is part of the Ultimate Universe. The thing is, she's not going to appear at this moment right here. Now, as Wolverine and Cyclops are flying to the Savage Land, they come to find out that Kitty Pryde snuck on the X-Jet because she wanted to go on this mission so bad. And so right now, she is stuck with Wolverine and Cyclops as they continue their mission in the Savage Land. Now, to wrap up Ultimate X-Men number 23, you do have Beast tell Blob one last big secret about the X-Men. And he says, hey, so guys, remember how we killed Magneto like a year ago now and everything? And you have Blob say, yeah, y'all killed Magneto. He's dead and gone. You have Beast say, actually, that's all a lie. Magneto is still alive. We just have him somewhere hidden from the rest of the world. But he's still alive, actually. And with Beast telling Blob, who then tells the rest of the Brotherhood of Mutants, is kind of like, oh crap. This is basically Magneto returning into the Ultimate Universe. Because Beast just told Blob that, hey, Magneto's not dead. Magneto is still alive. He's out there. Now, guys, when it comes to Ultimate X-Men number 24, with this book right here, guys, this book is kind of funny a little bit, a little weird. But anyways, guys, we pick up with Wolverine and Cyclops right now on their mission in the Savage Land. Now, guys, real quick side note, their mission is just to find lost soldiers who were sent to fight Magneto back in Volume 1. My problem with this part right here is kind of like, why in the world did it take this long for like the X-Men, our America, to send in a team into the Savage Land to look for any lost soldiers who were sent there to kill Magneto back in Volume 1? Because at this point right here, guys, it's been like a year or two now. Like at least a year the most, probably. And so it's kind of like, okay, whatever. But the thing is, that is why Wolverine and Cyclops right now is on a mission into the Savage Land. They are there to look for lost soldiers. Now, Kitty Pryde, she stayed back on the X-Jet. And she's calling, Charles Xavier, kind of like, hey, I'm sorry, I broke the rule. Please do not tell my mother, because if you do, she'll basically take me back home. And I really, really want to stay at the school because you guys are so cool. Now, as Cyclops and Wolverine continue their mission, they do find the lost soldiers. The problem is the lost soldiers are dead bodies that are moving. They're being zombies. But the thing is, though, they're not really being zombies. They're being moved by machines. And it's kind of like, okay, this is weird. And so you have Wolverine and Cyclops kind of fight their way through the mob of robotic dead bodies to figure out what in the world is going on. And the thing is, though, guys, they do basically find out what happened in the Savage Land. That some kind of computer machine that Magneto was using all the way back in Volume 1 was still alive. Even though, like, the Savage Land got wrecked by the X-Men and the American race, the computer did not die. It stayed alive. And basically, what Mark Millar tried to do here, it seemed like he was making his own version of Ultron in the Ultimate Universe, but this is not Ultron at all. Like, this is not Ultron at all. And you do have this machine kind of like, listen, after America attacked Magneto here in the Savage Land and like wrecked his whole home world and everything, I was still alive. I had these dead soldiers basically rebuilt me, and I was going to attack the human and mutant race at the same time and have the robotic race take over the world. Guys, this is Mark Millar kind of doing Ultron, but not being Ultron. Now, the thing is, though, as this robot is talking to Wolverine and Cyclops about his big plan, Kitty Pryde, she on accident phased through the machine. Now, guys, when it comes to Kitty Pryde, when she phased through any kind of technology, it just falls apart. No matter what it is, once she phased through it, that technology just shorts out. And so this robot just blows up because Kitty Pryde phase through the robot. Now, we do jump over to Bobby Drake. And the thing is, you have the X-Men watching Bobby Drake on TV. And they're wondering, will Bobby Drake agree with his parents to sue Charles Xavier for $15 million? Oh, I want to say it's $50 million. Either way, they're kind of like, will he agree with his parents to sue Charles Xavier? And so as the speech goes on, you do have Bobby Drake kind of like, you know what? No, I am not going to sue Charles Xavier. That man has taught me so much, and he gave my life an adventure. You know, I was able to travel across the world to London, to Paris, to do all these different things. My life has changed thanks to that man. And you know what? I am not going to sue him at all. And it's kind of like, you know what? Good for you. Good for you, Iceman. Do not sue Charles Xavier because he did a lot for you. He taught you how to control your powers. Now, to wrap up Ultimate X-Men number 24, we do jump over to New York. And the thing is, though, you do have these 7 people, you know, sitting around at this table. And they're kind of like, okay, has Jean Grey has any more visions of the Phoenix? And you have someone say no. And then you have somebody say, you know what? It's time for us to bring Charles Xavier in. It's time for him to meet the people who are officially funding the Xavier School. Guys, we get introduced to the Hellfire Club and Sebastian Shaw in the Ultimate Universe. We kind of find out the Hellfire Club is funding Charles Xavier's School for mutants. Now, guys, when it comes to Ultimate X-Men number 25, with this book right here, guys, this is the book that basically wraps everything up for us. And this is Mark Millar saying, okay, it's time for us to get ready for Ultimate War. Because when we get to Ultimate War, things are going to go down in that storyline right there. And so you do pick up with the X-Men going to the Hellfire Club party. Now, you only have Charles Xavier, Storm, Jean Grey, and Colossus, the ones who are going to the party. Because Cyclops, Wolverine, and Kitty Pryde, they're not there. Right now, they're still in the Savage Land. And Beast did not go because he said he has a date with some girl named Naomi. Now, we know Beast is not going to meet a girl right now. I can't talk. Sorry. We know that Beast is not going to meet some girl named Naomi. Instead, he's going to meet up with Blob and probably get badly injured. So right now, all you have is Jean Grey, Charles Xavier, Colossus, and Storm going to this party at the Hellfire Club. Now, once they're inside, of course, they're having a fun time. They're having a blast. They're having a few drinks. And it does seem like this is a normal party. Like nothing bad should happen. Now, as the whole time they're partying, having drinks, having a good time, you do have the Hellfire Club kind of like, okay, so it's time for us to make our move. It's time for us to get the X-Men and finally achieve our lifetime goal. So let's get going right now. And so you have the Hellfire Club knock out every single X-Men member. Storm, Colossus, Jean Grey, Charles Xavier. They all get knocked out just like that. And they all get basically put in these kind of devices to hold them, but to also cancel out their powers. Because the thing is, though, you have the Hellfire Club wanting to tell the X-Men why they basically fund the X-Men in the first place. And you have Sebastian Shaw say, listen, the reason why we fund you guys throughout all this time is because we wanted to get Jean Grey ready. Because Jean Grey is going to be a vessel for the Phoenix Force, this cosmic god. Now, you do have Charles Xavier kind of like, are you serious? the Phoenix Force is real. Like, I just thought that Jean Grey just had some kind of crazy, psychotic breakdown. But in reality, her visions were not some kind of breakdown. Her visions were trying to warn her that, hey, listen, the Phoenix is coming. And sooner or later, the Phoenix is going to be here on Earth to take over Jean Grey's body. Her visions was a warning to the X-Men team. And so right now, you have Sebastian Shaw saying, listen, I am part of a bloodline that has basically been working for centuries to get to this point right here, where we can, I cannot talk tonight, guys, sorry. But you have Sebastian Shaw saying, we have been working for centuries to get to this point right here where we can summon the Phoenix Force to bring her here, because Jean Grey is the vessel of the Phoenix. And so you have Sebastian Shaw basically grab Jean Grey, and he does summon the Phoenix Force. The Phoenix Force arrives on Earth, and you have the Phoenix Force take over Jean Grey's body. Now, Sebastian Shaw, his goal is to use the Phoenix Force to reimagine the world, to quote unquote make the world better. But the thing is, though, you can't control the Phoenix. You cannot control the Phoenix at all, because it's a cosmic being. It's so powerful, it's hard to control. And so with the Phoenix right now inside Jean Grey's body, it turns to the Hellfire Club and says, do you really think you guys can control me? Like, I understand that you guys want me to basically reimagine the world and make it a better place. But the thing is, though, you forced me to come here. I do not like to be forced to a planet, even though this vessel is the perfect vessel for my powers. I do not like to be forced somewhere to do somebody's bidding at all. And so you have the Phoenix wipe out the whole Hellfire Club completely. I mean, she wipes every single one of them out. One by one, they all get wiped out, to the point where Sebastian Shaw is the last one. And she says, hey man, you're gonna die too. Boom, gone. And he's dead also. And it's kind of like, yo, that's kind of messed up real bad. Now, you do have Charles Xavier able to talk to Jean Grey and say, listen, we need you to just stop being the Phoenix. Go back to being Jean Grey. You are a good person. You are not a bad person at all. Like, you need to basically turn back into Jean Grey. And just like that, bam, the Phoenix is gone. Now, this is Mark Miller saying the Phoenix is not gone forever. Right now, she's on the back burner. She'll be back. Matter of fact, guys, throughout Ultimate X-Men run, you're going to see glimpse of the Phoenix. Just glimpse. Not like all out Phoenix, but small glimpse of the Phoenix. To tell you the truth, we are not going to see the full power of the Phoenix until, like, I want to say Ultimate X-Men 70s and 80s and 90 issues. The far end of the Ultimate X-Men run. But right now, you're seeing the Phoenix. After this, for a long time, you are only going to see glimpse of the Phoenix Force. Now, you do have the X-Men walk out. And the thing is, though, to wrap up this video, you do have Beast call up the X-Men. And he said, listen, my date was a trap. This whole time, I've been talking to Blob. And Blob knows all our secrets. And you have Storm and the X-Men kind of like, hey, what do you mean they know all our secrets, Hank? And you have Hank say, listen, they know Magneto is alive. And just right there, you have Magneto grab everything metal around the X-Men, and he writes in the sky saying, thank you, Charles. And that wraps up Ultimate X-Men Volume 4. And guys, this gets us ready for Ultimate War with the X-Men fighting against the Ultimates. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's video. Please leave me a like down below and also subscribe for more comic book stories down in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, let me know in the comments below. But anyways, guys, I'm out of here, and I'll see y'all next time in the next comic book video. Later, guys.